talks about turning 20 like it's some magical age. Like suddenly, your life will fall into place. But here's the truth they never told you. Your 20s will either build your empire or bury your potential. Not because you have to be rich right now, not because society said so, but because the habits, choices, and mindset you build in your 20s will silently decide how the next 50 years of your life feel. Let's start with a brutal truth. No one's coming to save you. At 2 a.m., when you're lying there overthinking, when anxiety grabs your chest like a weight you can't lift, when your feed is filled with people who seem 10 steps ahead, that's when it all counts. That's when most people start doubting themselves. Maybe I'm not built for this. Maybe I'm too behind. But here's the secret. Every great life is built in silence. Those 2 a.m. breakdowns, those overthinking spirals, that constant voice in your head telling you you're not enough, that's where transformation begins. Most people in their 20s are trapped in 3 invisible prisons. Depression masked as laziness, anxiety disguised as perfectionism, loneliness pretending to be independence. You keep telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week, then next month, and before you know it, you've built a habit of hesitation. That's why this decade matters. Because right now, you are programming your mind. Every excuse you repeat becomes a belief. Every decision you delay becomes a habit. Every distraction you surrender to becomes your lifestyle. Your 20s are not a waiting room. They're not a soft launch. They are the training ground for the rest of your life. This is where you fight back. When the pressure gets unbearable and your friends are going out, and your heart is broken, and your bank account is empty, and you still show up. That's how you build resilience. Not in comfort, not in motivation. In the moments when quitting would be easier, but you don't. But let's talk about something deeper, the psychology of why your 20s are so unstable. You're caught between expectations and reality, between who you thought you'd be and who you are, between your parents' voices and your own. And in that chaos, you feel lost. But that confusion, that's the sign you're evolving. You see, your brain in your 20s is still forming long-term habits and belief systems. If you surrender now, to fear, to distractions, to anxiety, you're wiring those reactions into your core. But if you stand up now, if you fight the urge to scroll, if you face the discomfort, if you build discipline when no one's watching, you will become unstoppable. Here's the mistake most people make in their 20s. They chase validation, not transformation. They build an identity around being liked, not being powerful. They scroll instead of study. They binge instead of build. They choose comfort now and regret later. But you, if you're watching this, it means some part of you knows that's not the path. So let me tell you what matters most right now. Build a calm mind. The world is loud. Everyone is screaming for your attention. Your calmness is your superpower. Practice solitude. Learn to be alone without being lonely. It's in silence that your real thoughts appear. Train your body, because a strong body builds a strong mind. Fitness isn't about looks, it's about discipline. Start something, anything. A side hustle, a YouTube channel, a blog. The earlier you learn to build, the better your future will be. Heal, don't carry your childhood pain into your adult future. Forgive, confront, grow. And most importantly, stop thinking you have time. Your 20s are like wet cement. Everything you do right now will harden into the structure you stand on for life. And I get it. Some days it feels like nothing matters, like you're tired for no reason, like your mind is running while your body shuts down. That's not laziness. That's emotional burnout. That's unspoken trauma. That's the weight of a world that never taught you how to cope. But here's the light in all that darkness. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to keep showing up. Read when your mind says scroll. Move when your body says sleep. Speak when your fear says be quiet, because it's those small rebellions that build greatness. One sentence becomes a book. One workout becomes strength. One YouTube video becomes an empire. But only if you keep going. And when people tell you, relax, you're still young, smile, but don't listen. Because those same people will criticize you at 30 for not having a plan. You don't owe them anything. You owe your future everything. This is your decade, not for perfection, but for direction. You won't get this time back. So don't waste it trying to fit in. Use it to stand out. Use it to master your emotions, to crush your distractions, to conquer your mind. And when the voices of doubt get too loud, remember this. Even on your worst days, you're still building. Even when no one claps, you're still climbing. Even when it feels pointless, your persistence is shaping your future. So don't stop. Don't fold. Become the person your younger self needed, and the person your future self will thank. Welcome to your 20s. This is where your empire begins.